And we're back with another episode of Beyond the Mat, a huge pop wrestling podcast production of Beyond the Mat, Wrestletok Wednesdays. It's going to be kind of a different kind of show. I don't have a set guest this week. I do not have anything that we are going to straight up talk about. It's going to be whoever comes in the chat has an opportunity to talk. It's an open forum kind of thing, and we're gonna go with it. We're just going to see what happens, and my son's playing 2K23 in the background, so we got Uncle Howdy today. We got Bray Wyatt unlocked. So just got a lot of stuff going on. Just feel free to drop your comment in there. Got a question, hot take that you want to put out there, feel free to throw it in the comment section. And again, it's going to be not your normal Beyond the Mat Wrestletok Wednesday. It's going to be a little bit different. It's an open forum, an open discussion for everybody that wants to participate. So we have one viewer. Thank you, whoever that is, on whatever platform you're watching. A couple announcements for going forward. We do have my episode of Wrestletok Wednesday coming up in 2 weeks, and your host for that episode is Haley, so everyone's favorite Brit. So anyway, join us in 2 weeks for that one. That one's August 4th, I believe. That pretty much, I think that's pretty much it for my shameless plugs. We do have, again, I said I have one person watching. So if you have any comments or whatever, throw them in the comment section and we'll get right to you. Other than that, hold on. Something's in my ear. Weird. Something fuzzy's going on. Hold on.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
In the immortal words of Scott Hall, you people, you know who I am, but you don't know why. Two Sweets here.
Hey,
yo.
Hey, yo. So, yes, he was. I guess I'm feeling a little like Eric Bischoff. I knew that you were here. So, I'll jump in with your stuff until Coaster gets in. He was supposed to be here, but so this is your guys' episode. It is the Free Talk Wrestling episode of Beyond the Mat. And My question, I started off with, when did you start watching wrestling? Like, what's your story?
Summer of 1997. My older brother, we'll go back even further. April of 97. My brother writes in my mother's birthday card, "Happy birthday, love you. P.S. We need cable." And not even a couple months later, my mom ordered cable, and that summer, the first thing I hear on a Monday night is "Hey Yo." And I heard Scott Hall for the first time, and I've been a wrestling fan since then.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Takeover is complete.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Two-thirds of the Free Talk Wrestling
I gotta
Trios
get
tag
that.
team
Yep,
are
that's
in the
right.
building now.
That's right. I gotta get this out. Oh boy. Oh, other side. You done fucked up now. You done fucked up now, bitches. You fucking with the wrong motherfucker now.
What? No. My question is, why don't you have that out already?
Because I have kids.
Oh, fair enough.
Mine's not here right now, so I can keep mine out.
Mine's out and eating lunch, and the other one's trying to take a nap.
I feel out of place. I have to have something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that.
On this podcast, we're brought to you by Mike the Bell Collector.
Thanks, Heel Mike. If you're ever in your belt collecting needs, call Heel Mike.
He'll fix you up. No, I just asked Too Sweet what when he started watching wrestling. So, what's your story behind your when did you first start watching wrestling?
Well, honestly, I didn't start watching wrestling until about 2017, but it's kind of funny how I got into it. So, my buddy, who is actually here with me today, he's over at my place, he made me sit down and watch the resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts.
Great, that's such a good documentary.
Oh, agreed. Phenomenal documentary. So he made me sit down and watch that because he's such a huge fan of Jake as well. And I started watching. I'm like, man, I feel for these guys. Man, this is what they do in the ring, and they don't get anything afterwards. This is some bullshit. Because I'm a football fan, so as a football fan, I feel the same way as that. Because all the retired guys, they don't get any love either. But when you see everybody going down the same path that everybody did, with Scott Hall, Jake the Snake, and then all of them getting saved by DDP, man, I'm not even kidding you. I was crying at the end of it. And I looked at him and I said, I need to see some wrestling. I need more. And the very first match this man put on was Mankind versus Undertaker in Hell in a Cell.
Another great way to be introduced into wrestling.
And immediately, I was like, I need more of this in my life. And that's really how I became a fan. I just wanted to watch more and more of it. I started going on YouTube right after that. And then I think it was maybe a month later, I got Peacock or the WWE Network at the time. And I'm like, I just need to watch. So I started with the Attitude Era. Because that's what I missed out on.
Nice.
Us Attitude Era soldiers are still living that war.
See, I went on the WWE side because my whole school was WWE. We didn't really talk about WCW at my school. It was all DX and suck it.
See, my brother's a WCW guy. He loves Sting. He loves the NWO, Hollywood Hogan, that whole spiel. I didn't have that on my TV. I didn't have TNT or TBS to watch. I knew about Monday nights on USA
Mm-hmm.
was absolute just Vince McMahon screaming in, like just having that whole.
I'm gonna fire you, Stone Cold.
Yeah, that was mine. But my brother's like, you gotta check this out, and that's when I started watching the Crow Sting. I'm like, all right, I can dig this. This is all right. And I think from an early age, I was the mega, like I didn't like WWE sucks or WCW sucks. It was like, all right, cool, wrestling. Where else can I watch? But
Right. No, I feel that because right when I got into it, I was like, where can I watch wrestling? Where do I go? I just want to watch all of it, anything. What do you got? And I remember mainly as a kid, what happened with me was I was at this like pizza place, and they had different rooms with different TVs. Grab pizza, walk in a room, and I'm sitting down watching TV. The screen is black, but then all of a sudden you just hear some music, and it's Kane walking out to me. This was my first time ever truly seeing wrestling. It's just this big hunker of a man in this red mask, and he just came out to this whole fire and flame. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this. The next thing I know, I feel a yank in the back. And this is from my dad on my shirt. Nope, we're not watching this stupid shit. You're not losing brain cells. And that was like 98, 99.
oh, that's a bummer.
Because after he came out and did the whole thing, the next thing I hear is glass breaking, and then I feel the tug. So I know. Oh, so that's Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that was Kane. So this is probably during the whole First Blood stuff.
Yeah.
The
So
whole
what was
storyline, the Highway to Hell for SummerSlam was amazing.
So, in whatever order, what was your favorite wrestler when you were growing up? Like when you first started watching it? Like what was the? I think I know Too Sweet's answer, but I'm assuming it's Scott Hall. But
yeah, it's Scott Hall for him. Oh,
yeah.
Definitely. You know what? Since I started watching, there's been one guy, Rusev, Miro. That's been my dude. Right now, he's the Redeemer, and I swear to God, if he does not redeem a title, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
So who's your favorite guy now then?
Like now, fuck. God, it's always between like Seth Rollins, Jon Moxley, and Adam Cole.
Okay. Good three.
I like a little blood, and I like blood. That's why I like Jon Moxley. Also, he's a Cincinnati boy. I'm from Cincinnati, so it's my hometown hero.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that.
I was
Where
waiting for Matt
Sorry to
to-
hear that. You know what? That's
where
what I'm
I-
going to see you.
That's just a Michigan thing. You can't
No,
say anything about Ohio without us saying sorry.
Oh, yeah, that shit. There's a reason you're up. There's a reason you're above us. We don't have to deal with your ass.
Well, the way I see it, you got to flush twice, making sure it gets to Columbus. So
Hey, I said Cincinnati, not Columbus, okay? But shit mainly goes to Cleveland. Have you seen the Browns?
I mean,
Look, half of Ohio is like the southern state of Michigan, and the other half is the northern state of Kentucky.
Yeah, Cincinnati is totally northern Kentucky. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not even going to lie to you. That is 10,000% northern Kentucky. Because one moment you'll get southern hospitality. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get that door for you, sweetheart. And the next moment, fuck you.
So we all, I mean, everyone met each other. Everyone that came through this show has met on TikTok at certain points. Not Wrestletok specifically. What brought you guys to the app TikTok? Like, what made you guys? Was it the pandemic? Was it like what was it?
Mine was 100% the pandemic.
Yep. Pandemic.
I was working at this factory, and the owner didn't know how to like do anything with this because it was new for everybody, so he didn't know how to through the pandemic, so he just sent everybody home and made us collect unemployment. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna sit at home and not do shit. So I started doing the TikTok, and it was, literally when I started, it was just a way for me to not think of what was going on in the world and to create my own little world.
She's talking to you.
And then I think it was CJ was the first actual Wrestletok person that I like started following, and then after I started following him, it was just everybody started popping up for me. And I was like, oh, okay, well, this is something I know. Let me try my hand in this. And then I went from having 1,500 followers. In a summer, I ended up with like almost 3,000. And then my original account got banned, and you guys blew it right back up. I was already ready to go live within a week.
Yeah.
And then I made more accounts, did the same thing, and now that was the original concept for Free Talk Wrestling, was to have an account on TikTok that if you got banned or bananas or whatever you want to call it, you hit us up and we just let you use an account.
Facts. What about you, Josh?
It was definitely the pandemic for me, but yeah, what happened was I was working at a job, and then I literally I'd gotten sick like 2 weeks before. They went, hey, we're gonna close everything down, and so I'm at home, and then next thing I know, I get a call from my boss, hey, you're unemployed. We're shutting down because of the pandemic. Just get the checks. So I'm trying to figure out what to do what to do with my time. My sister, who at the time is 14, is like, hey, join me on TikTok. We're doing this fun stuff. I join. I start doing a little bit more fun. And I actually first come across pot talk or cannabis TikTok. So I first come across there, and I blow up from that. Within, I'd say, 6 to 9 months, I had 55.2K following. And that literally was just from smoking on camera and doing stupid shit. Now, of course, at that time, TikTok hated pot talk, cannabis talk, and completely bananaed my account, completely banned it at 55.2. So now, technically, I'm on my 9th account. And so I decided on this account, basically, you know what? Screw it. I'm done with the pot talk, done with all of that. Let me go over to wrestling, because I understand wrestling, and I'm a big wrestling fan too. And now I've almost been a year, and so I'm over here on this side now, and I've enjoyed it a hell of a lot more than any of my other time on TikTok.
I mean, we do have our toxic people, obviously.
Oh yeah, but like, you would think pot talk was not that toxic. Holy crap! It was one of the most toxic places ever. Like, oh, it was so bad.
And the internet. The internet is just so odd. Like the way I address like you and Cody and like everybody that I talk to, I address you guys as like real people, like as friends, instead of, oh, that's just some dude that I see on every now and then on TikTok. No, I feel like I've made friends over the last year, and I mean, some people might not see how I can be friends with everybody, and not it be a, well, because you're not friends with so and so I can't be friends with them. No, I can be friends with everybody.
Yeah,
I can juggle that.
I mean, you can juggle that many friends in real life. Why can't you juggle that many friends here?
Oh yeah, yeah. So obviously, if you, this is your shameless plug time if you'd like. I mean, plug your Free Talk stuff over on PWC.
Yeah, definitely Free Talk Wrestling over on Panda Wrestling Company over on Twitch and YouTube. We also have a Free Talk Wrestling on from YouTube as well. And I have my own personal account on Twitch that I've had for a while, and I don't do a whole lot of stuff on there, but if I get enough people to follow me and do some stuff, I'll do a lot of basically the same shit I do here, which is watch wrestling. I'll show the wrestling on there and get high as a mother trucker.
Yeah. So, just out of curiosity, there's some things like I've talked to you about wrestling and that kind of stuff. This show was basically a way for me to get to know everyone else around. You play video games?
Not a lot. I mean, I've got a Switch and I've got GTA 3 on my computer, but I mean, really, I play like Mario Kart or Pokemon.
Okay.
I am more of a retro gamer because I'm not even gonna lie. To me, most of the modern day games, it's the same thing. So I've got a big story. I'm gonna go out, do some missions, kill the big bad guy. Whoopee. But it's the same thing. We're a cowboy. We're a Viking. We're an assassin. And then the Call of Duty Fortnite stuff. Shoot 'em up, bang bangs. I mean, it's the same game, just placed in a different area.
Sorry about that. My phone just decided to die while it was charging.
I mean, and I could say the same thing about Pokemon and Mario Kart. It's just, to me, they're a lot more fun.
I see that. I mean, Andrew just recently got me like playing Fortnite. I honestly thought it was going to be absolutely trash and garbage.
Mm-hmm.
I started playing it. It's not just shoot 'em up, bang bang. It's like they have this whole like library of side games you can play. That like you can play like these called death runs. They're basically you got to survive a speed run. That's kind of cool. And then there's a couple other side like there's they have Fortnite Among Us, and I thought Among Us was, and it's actually quite fun. Like you got to go around the ship to try to fix stuff on the ship, while the guy who's follows the people around and tries killing them.
That's funny.
And then there's other things that they got on there too. But just talking about video games, do you play?
I haven't been really. I was always a big wrestling game fan. Like I remember playing WCW NWO Revenge with my brother.
Okay.
And me and him were always the tag team champions. We were always the outsiders, and we always won by me being the legal man, throwing the other team's legal man out, and him keeping him out for the 10 count. That game was so fun. That's why, in my humble opinion, I know a lot of people say No Mercy was the wrestling game for the Nintendo 64. For my money, Revenge was way better.
See, it's either Revenge or it's the other one that you just said. Everyone said for 64. Just move out. Just give me Donkey Kong Country 64. Move out of my way.
See, and again, I'm doing this show to get to know everyone, and the more I talk to everyone, I feel so goddamn old. Seriously, like I played my first wrestling game was on Super Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, yeah. The first wrestling game I ever noticed was in the arcade.
Oh yeah.
The original wrestling game I first ever played was over this girl's house that lived next door to us. She had a Super NES, and she had the original WrestleMania game.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Yep. And when I found out that like Scott Hall was Razor Ramon, I was like, "Yep, I'm using that motherfucker every time."
Hey yo!
Because I was like, "Man, he looks like Scott Hall."
That's because he is.
Before I knew about everything.
So, you talk like that's funny that you say that because I guess the new AEW game. This was kind of interesting. The move set, they have the Brock Lesnar move set, and the name of the move set, from what I've been told, is it's labeled in the creative player character stuff, diverticulitis.
That's great. Yeah, they used pretty much the whole engine of No Way Out for Fight Forever.
I'm gonna pass on that game. I'm not. I want my my games to be realistic looking.
Exactly, that's how I felt, and that's like that WWE. What was the one where when the pandemic happened, they decided not to come out with 2021.
Yeah, Battleground.
That shit was horrible.
Andrew was giving it. I think my brother gave it to him for his birthday or something. We played it for a while because we didn't have anything new to play. It was during the pandemic, so.
Right.
I talked to Josh while you were off. My brother's calling me again. And this, if you want to plug more free talk stuff, you're more than welcome to do that right now. We're at the halfway mark ish. So, if you want to, if you have anything else you're working on, feel free to plug it.
Well, right now with Free Talk Wrestling, we're moving forward every Thursday doing the same thing. I myself am coming out with something not to do with wrestling, not to do with anything, but pretty much tell my backside, like my growing up and all that. I've actually talked to a cameraman. Sometime this month or next month, we're going to be shooting some B-roll footage of the cities I grew up in, and then I will be starting a show called Before I Forget, which will be pretty much me sitting there with people I grew up with and people that grew up around me, knowing me, telling the craziest stories that in my life I actually went through, and surprised I'm still here.
I mean, so we have, here we go. Who's your, I'll ask Josh when he comes back. Who's your, like, what's the one piece of wrestling merchandise outside of your belt, of course, that's your favorite that you've ever had?
It has to be my die-cast Scott Hall Hot Wheels car. Okay. It means the most to me.
What about you, Josh? What's your favorite piece? What's your most favorite piece of wrestling merch outside of your FTW belt?
That.
Oh, the Money in the Bank briefcase.
That's all I got. That's like the only. That's all I got for wrestling merch.
Which we've already banned him from taking it to events because we don't want a recap of somebody throwing a fucking.
Hey! I'm not gonna throw it. Okay. Do you know what I'm gonna do? If anything, I'm literally gonna hop the barricade and beat somebody in the back with it, and cash it in.
Candace cashing in at a home show.
Well, that
you guys might want to watch August 25th, Friday Night SmackDown. I might cash in.
So that just reminds, like, the absolute anyone that knows me knows I hate Dominic Mysterio. I can't stand the dude. It absolutely kills me.
That you have to acknowledge that he's now your new North American champion.
My God, that kicks my ass.
NXT North American champion. And nobody helped him. It wasn't like, oh, I got a distraction. No, he did it himself.
I mean, that shows how good of a wrestler he is.
When did Rhea Ripley become John Cena? Because I kind of saw her.
Yeah, no one saw her. Hey, you know what? I think whatever happened after Money in the Bank when they were talking, something must have happened.
So
Dude, she
I think this is what's going to happen.
That wasn't going to work either. She didn't work that belt. She fucking actually hit what's his name in the head because he was split open afterwards.
Yeah.
That was like a live round right there.
See, here's what I think is going to happen now that Dom's got that belt. So you've got Senor Money in the Bank. You've got Rhea with the women's heavyweight. You've got Dom with the NXT North American. And now you're going to have Finn with the world heavyweight. He's going to beat Seth.
I don't think he's going to beat Seth. I think he's going to lose, and they're going to kick him out of the Judgment Day for that fact. And then Damien's going to cash in at SummerSlam.
Oh, no.
Win. and be like, you couldn't do it. You couldn't take care of business. I took care of it. I'm the world champion, and we all have gold. What do you have? Get out.
No. Remember, Damien said, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to cash in on you. I'm not going to do any of that. Okay? Let Finn win. And then Seth's got to try and do a rematch at Payback. And that's when Damien just beats him in the back, Finn, and then takes it from him. And that's when they kick him out. It leads up to all of that. Let Finn have it. It'll be a bittersweet, poetic moment, especially at SummerSlam.
I think if they do something like that, and they do wait for Payback to have Damien cash in and kick him out, you could have JD McDonough come running down to look like he's going to slide in and save Finn, and then give him his finisher, and joins the Judgment Day that way.
Yeah, that would be good. I was also doing the math yesterday when I saw that Dominic won. It was crazy because I found out Dominic won the North American Championship from a loyal customer at the store I work at. He texted me. He said,
Damn.
Dom's the champion. I was like, no fucking way. So I went and watched it, and I was like, oh, great. And I started doing the math. Gunther is 6 weeks away from touching the Honky Tonks Intercontinental reign. So we won't be seeing him lose it at SummerSlam.
No. It'll be a good match between him and Drew.
I don't see him losing it at Payback because it's not a good enough pay-per-view or what was the other one before? It's Payback and then
Payback, and then
Battleground. Something like that. Yep. Those two, he's not losing the title at. Survivor Series, that'll be the night that Gunther loses the Intercontinental Championship.
It'll be at Survivor Series or Royal Rumble. It might be at the Rumble too.
Could be. But that would be about the time where it would make sense for him to lose that title because he has beaten the Honky Tonks record and he's held it well over. Because I think, what was it? It's like September-ish. Or no. Mid-October, he'll hit the Honky Tonk Man shit.
Yeah. Because Roman has until next September to beat Hogan.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous. I get it.
Yeah. He's already surpassed in WrestleMania, in the WrestleMania era. Like, since the inception of WrestleMania till now, Roman is the all-time leader, like, the longest reigning champion in WrestleMania era. So, I mean, he beat Hogan for that. That should be enough. He's in the top 4.
I get that you're trying to get rid of, like, the biggest stain on your record books, but you're also giving that person, like, more notoriety because you're like, oh, he's got to beat this so he could be better than that racist prick. Stop bringing that racist prick up and he won't have to be better than him.
Very true. I mean, what if they're trying? That's the thing. Like, they want to erase him from history, but yet they still keep wheeling his geriatric ass out at WrestleMania.
And he keeps saying in the wrong fucking dome. Like, next year he's gonna come out. Welcome to the fucking Tokyo Dome, brother.
Fuck Hulk Hogan.
We're in Philly.
The fact that you know all yes, that's funny.
Fuck Hulk Hogan.
So,
I'm with the Iron Sheik. Fuck Hulk Hogan, that fucking jabroni.
So we got a couple games we play. We're at just over the halfway point.
There's one more thing I wanted to plug, but we don't have a set date. The Roastathon for Holly, the Holly Strong Roastathon, where you can come in for $5. You can roast the whole panel one time. $10, you can roast the whole panel twice. $15, you get 3 chances. And then if you pay $20, me and you will go back and forth. Because I like
Good cuts.
I enjoy roasting people, especially on TikTok if they kick punching bags or have conversations with themselves and on a comment at 5:30 in the morning.
Did they? Oh, good lord!
Dude
Did
was
you
having
really?
a conversation with himself while I was in bed with somebody. I'm like,
That's
you called us
that's
all virgins, but you're on my thing commenting while I'm in bed with somebody. You're God. That's when I won.
lonely, Mr. Lonely.
So, our first game that I have to play is who did it better, or who did it the best.
Okay.
I'm gonna name a move. I have like 5 moves that I typically throw out there, and this one is actually because I was on a live, and someone had a really interesting take on the last one we're gonna do, and I think it was either Mia or Leah or Mia, one of the two. And they had a really interesting take that actually had to go YouTube said move and person to really see if like how accurate it was, and she was pretty damn accurate. Start off with the spine buster.
Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
That's just like when you say beer in wrestling, who's the first person that pops up?
It was Stone Cold. Yeah.
Exactly.
I would almost say Wardlow because I've seen him give the spine buster and that thing looked vicious. But I'm gonna stay correct with Arn Anderson.
Okay. The next one would be let's see which one do I want to go with. The spear.
Edge. Goldberg's always looked like it was a little too stiff.
My answer to this every week is the Gore from a Michigan boy, Rhino.
Who I'm like somehow loosely related to.
Interesting.
I'm gonna be weird here, but this one's a personal one. I like Charlotte's spear.
Okay.
It's gotten better over the years. But like I like Charlotte's spear. I kind of want to be speared by her, so.
I mean,
that'd be a lopsided spear.
Exactly. I mean, so I'll survive.
Power bomb.
I'm gonna have to go with Nash. Only because he made it look so more powerful than it actually was by just doing the jackknife shit. Just fuck it. And then to break the Big Show's neck made it even more devastating looking.
There's 2 people that pop into my head every time, and that's Kevin Owens with his pump up power bomb.
Yeah, that one's hard.
Yeah.
And Psycho Sid.
That's a good choice too. See, I associate Kevin Owens with his indie finisher, which was the package pile driver.
Okay.
That's what I associate Kevin Owens with. Like, even now that he's using the stunner, I don't think that's truly his finisher move. I think that's something he's like, oh, I'm stuck in WWE for a little bit longer, so let me start using one of their moves.
I'm gonna have to say Undertaker, the last ride.
Now that's a bad motherfucking power bomb too.
Yeah.
I literally y'all thinking about it. I'm going over the moves and I'm just double checking. I'm like, that's a power bomb. That's a power bomb. The last ride, man. I mean, that's just as iconic too.
It's made even more iconic on a SmackDown with Kane and the Undertaker versus Kai, and Kane botches the last ride, and in a Big Brother moment, Undertaker was like, no, this is how you do it, and literally taught him how to perform the last ride on a SmackDown.
Oh, wait, so we do it like this?
And then was like, this is how you do it correctly, and he did it, and then he's like, now your turn. And then the segment ends with him trying to give Kane dip, and he's like, "No, I'm good." Like that's a real brother moment, like that.
That's
And it was
biker
not
taker.
scripted
That's
like
biker
that.
taker.
Yeah,
That's
it
definitely
wasn't
biker
scripted.
taker.
It was just Undertaker was like, it would make more sense if Big Brother showed him how to do this shit on television. That's how good Undertaker's mind was.
Taker
we
knew
got-
what he was doing.
We got two more. Number one is the DDT.
That's Jake.
Yeah, it's Jake.
It's either Jake or I would have to give it to Foley with the double arm.
Okay.
The float over double arm one that he used.
Mrs. DDT isn't too bad either.
Yeah.
Mrs. DDT isn't too bad, but you gotta go with Jake.
I got one for you guys real quick because it was brought up on Free Talk Wrestling. I didn't put those two moves together thinking it was the same move. But who did it better? Is it the stroke or is it the skull crushing finale? Because Jeff Jarrett and The Miz share a fucking finisher, and I never noticed it. And I think Philly brought it up.
See, I'm more of a Miz guy than a Jeff
Yeah.
Jarrett guy, so I'd go Miz all day.
Yeah,
I like Jeff Jarrett, but I mean, I love The Miz a hell of a lot more. Miz has to be in the top 5 for me of all time.
Honestly, he's the only guy that's the Cleveland Browns fan or a Cleveland fan that I can actually tolerate.
I agree with you.
I became a Miz fan when he took the title off of Orton.
I became a Miz fan during his Intercontinental reign, his second one, with the B team and all that.
Was that the when he had that thing go on with Brian on SmackDown or Talking Smack?
Brian
Yeah,
Danielson,
he had just started that.
That was a great.
That reign was phenomenal.
Every time he comes, he's one guy that goes and does all the house shows, and I can appreciate a dude that does that.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays the crowd so well. Like every time, like he'll do the whole when he's a heel in Saginaw, Michigan. He shows up at Dow Event Center, comes in, and he does the whole. He puts his hands up. And he goes, "When my hand goes up,
your mouth goes
shut." Yeah, the whole place popped for that. I mean, he could sit there and be like, "Yeah, you fat, overweight, disgusting Saginaw sweat hogs," and then he went on like that, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
I've only been to one place in Saginaw, and there was no sweat hogs in there. The night before there was, and I looked at the sign. I was like, "I ain't going in that bitch."
I think I know where you're going.
It said BBW large women tonight, and I was like, "Oh hell no!"
I'm in.
For the first time.
I have a sense of deja vu rolling through.
Us Michiganders only had a couple good strip clubs.
Deja vu.
Yeah. It was that was a crazy night for me. I was like 18 and up, no alcohol, and they're butt naked. Ooh.
So my last one is the one that Mia or Leah had a crazy take on, and I don't necessarily think that they're right, but it's a good take. The choke slam.
Ooh.
And the person that they said is completely out of left field. Just
Who?
They said the Hurricane, Shane Helms.
I'll give you that one.
Wow.
That is the best comedical chokeslam ever. And it made it even better when you hear the story about Shawn Michaels going up to Gregory Helms and telling him, "That's a big man's move. You need to stop using that." Like literally, when Shawn Michaels is sober and has found God already, and he's telling you you're using a big man's move and you should stop, you should probably listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. More than likely should.
But Gregory Helms took it as, fuck you. I've been doing this shit since WCW. I'm going to keep doing it. It got me over.
But yeah,
But for my money, the best choke slam artist has got to be Kane.
Sir, Undertaker.
Kane's choke slam was way better than the Undertaker.
Oh no!
Undertaker
No.
had the better tombstone and the better pin for the tombstone. But that choke slam had to be Kane. Kane would fucking and go down with you and fucking. And he also choke slammed Shane McMahon into a burning dumpster. And Kane also put jumper cables on Shane's nuts.
I'm supposed to.
He's like, "Oh, you're having trouble in the bedroom? Let me help you, bud." This should bring some of those boys back to life.
Can't feel anything down there. Try again. Nope, it's gone.
Before we move on to the next game, this is probably going to be the easiest question I'll give you. And if you've watched this show, if you've ever watched the show, you know what's coming. Do you acknowledge David Arquette as the greatest WCW champion of all time?
Yes, FTW is built on that.
Okay. Again, the easiest question I've ever had to ask.
He needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, sir.
And
at least in the celebrity wing.
Agreed.
I mean,
he's done more for the wrestling business than Drew Carey. And Drew Carey's in the fucking wrestling wing, or the celebrity
Pete
ring.
Rose is in the Hall of Fame.
Pete Rose took way more fucking moves than David Arquette, though.
Well, David Arquette damn near died in a ring, so
that's true.
Trump's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
He's the only president in history to take a Stone Cold Stunner.
He sold that like a.
Started better than Vince.
I hope he takes another one soon.
By a dude in prison called Bubba.
Ray Dudley.
Get the table.
Big Dick Dudley.
No. Hey, you'll have Bubba. Shirley, go get the tables.
There used to be a Dudley called Big Dick. Big Dick Dudley.
Yeah, back in the ECW.
Yeah, Big Dick Dudley would be Trump's new tag partner.
He'll be tagging something else.
Hey, Trump took a better stunner than fucking McMahon did 2 years ago. So
yeah, well, there's also a big difference in age too at that point.
Yeah, but Vince McMahon had been in the ring more than Trump. That was his first time, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna fall on my ass." Okay, I'll pay $1 million for a new one. You're fired.
So, the next one is. I have to follow that up with the question: do you acknowledge Roman Reigns as your tribal chief?
No, my tribal chief is Jimmy Uso.
And he should win at SummerSlam. He should win at SummerSlam, but he won't.
Well, everybody's acknowledging Jay, but I acknowledge Jimmy because he came out on television the week before he turned and was like, "I'm the fucking tribal chief." So I was like, "Yes, you are. You are my tribal chief."
I love the fact that this whole thing with Jay is coming back around after like months and months and months after he said, "I don't give a damn what the tribal chiefs have to say."
I love that it's going it's done a full 360 and we're back to Jay. Jimmy's hurt again, and we're gonna get the second reign of main event Uso.
Yeah. There's also talks that if Jay loses, it's gonna end up being Solo turning on Roman, and at Payback it's gonna be Solo and Roman.
Nice.
I'm okay with that.
Then maybe because Mr. Dwayne's been on Twitter with what's his name on SmackDown? Grayson Waller. Maybe Roman hops in on Twitter, and then we get Survivor Series. Finally, The Rock versus Roman.
Grayson Waller.
I would be okay with that, but let's have Grayson Waller intervene. That way he can get a Mania match with The Rock.
Yeah.
I would love to. I'm just going to throw this out there. Maybe Solo. Solo's the last one standing as far as that's back in Roman, right? Well, so if Jimmy comes back and he says, well, while I was gone, no one came to visit me in the hospital. Except for two of my other cousins who actually give a damn about me. And then the Gorillas of Destiny shows up.
That depends on the G1 though.
Yeah.
Because that whole clique is in the G1, and for some reason, Tama Tonga's on the opposite side of the bracket from Tangaloa and what's the other one's name?
Bad Luck Fale?
No, the other brother. There's Tangaloa, Tama Tonga, and Tangaloa is the tall one. The one that used to be Camacho in WWE. He was the Mexican guy that used to come out on the lowrider bike, but he was actually
okay,
yeah, him. Those two are on the whole opposite side of the bracket on the G1 than Tama Tonga. So, and Tama Tonga has been in New Japan for so long, they might give him the G1 if they don't give it to Eddie.
There's also another thought I was thinking is that maybe not the GOD, but maybe Jacob Fatu.
Well, here's the question I have. Who initially sent Solo? Because he said he was sent from the Elders. But who sent him?
Is that...
Which of the Elders sent him?
Meng? No, not Meng.
Was it really Alpha and Sika? Or was it another Elder?
Was it Kishi, or was it the eldest elder, The Rock's mommy?
Yeah, because she's still around.
Yeah.
She'd been spotted backstage at a couple events.
So who sent Solo? I think that's the question that we finally need answered.
And they need to stop bringing up Haka and Sika. Like, if you're not gonna fucking bring them on television to fucking start schooling Roman about shit, then they need to stop being brought up, because you're just plugging their names for nothing. Make them a part of the storyline. Make it make sense.
I mean, they did, because they were there at the beginning, but now we're getting towards the end, so they need to show back up again.
Yeah. Like, Robic, you have brought this to the family, and we're sick of it. So
you have brought dishonor and shame to our family.
So it's time to bring in somebody to end your shit.
So now we have 10 questions. They're not 10 questions, but 10 people. I'm going to throw 10 names out. It's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear these names. We'll start off with Seth Rollins.
Go.
Yep.
Okay. Hot Rod Rowdy Piper.
Promo King.
Underlying racist.
Ooh.
I'm going to have to do some... the one that they removed from WWE Network.
Underlying racist.
There's a funny story. Did you hear the story?
We gotta look up Goldust then. He did a whole blackface.
Yeah, but his wasn't trying to be like, I'm bringing the power of black into me.
Did you see the rib that Andre did to him during that WrestleMania? Mm-hmm. He had his whole half and half And Andre, there's a special solution that was supposed to be to take the paint off.
Mm-hmm.
Andre switched it out and put vinegar water, and that's it. So Piper talks about this in it might have been Table for Three if you go back and watch that one. And he's just scrubbing, and he ends up going on the plane ride home, with half blackface.
That's what you get. That's great. But yeah, borderline racist.
So that's 2. Trish Stratus.
Overutilized for her talent. There were way better female wrestlers in that era, and they brought her in just because of TNA, and not the group, and not the company.
The next one was Trish Stratus.
Plastic.
Fair. So Becky Lynch.
Carpet match to drapes.
I would give her female GOAT.
We were talking. You mentioned that. Andrew and I were talking about that, and as much as it pains me, female GOAT to me, is Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
I think Becky, because of out of the 4 horsewomen, her and Charlotte, yes, those two have had the best reigns, title reign. But has Charlotte broken a fucking nose?
Becky and Bailey.
Becky broke her nose on television and made one of the most iconic images for that Survivor Series.
Nia broke her nose.
I know, but I'm saying,
my hole.
My hole.
And made the fucking most iconic image for that year's SummerSlam. I wanted to tune in for that shit. And at that time, I wasn't really watching WWE product. But I saw that, and I was like, wow, they're actually letting blood in? No, Nia Jax just works hard. And I would work her hard.
You would what? Wait, what was that?
I said I would work Nia Jax hard.
I let her rip me apart.
Just so you know, this is getting clipped for TikTok. So
I would make her say my hole.
Oh my!
I want to be in the hole.
That's where Too Sweet is. Too Sweet went down the hole.
Oh my!
We went down the hole.
You just channeled your inner gold member.
You come back up, guys. Don't go in the hole. I almost lost myself.
This is the shit we do on Free Talk Wrestling.
Next up, we have Adam Cole.
Baby!
He was better in ROH.
He was better in NXT.
Yeah. The shit they're doing with MJF, which is our next person, is some of the best shit that I've seen on wrestling in a while. So good.
Mini Ric Flair. That's the first thing that comes to my mind for MJF is Mini Ric Flair.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Adam Cole. Adam Cole's the mini version of fucking Triple H. If Triple H and Shawn Michaels could procreate, that's Adam Cole.
No, they'd have 2 offsprings. They'd be Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole.
Yeah, that's fair. You'd have twins.
They haven't done shit with Johnny, and they ain't doing shit with Adam on AEW.
There's talks that Johnny and Tommaso will be getting back together for DIY, which I am here for 110%.
What I wish they would do is okay, let's get DIY back, and then, in all honesty, let's run that NXT story back. Let's run it back. Because there's people who have not watched NXT that are going to be like, oh my God, this is new. This is the greatest.
Oh, no,
But then there are going to be us NXT fans are going, oh, we get to do this again. Yay, we get a proper ending.
You gotta
Like,
change. You
it
gotta have
deserves.
turn heel this time.
Yeah, have Gargano turn heel instead of Tommaso.
Because Tommaso did it to him twice. He could be like, "No, I'm doing it before you do it this time."
Yeah. Anything where they're like, we kind of flubbed that up. Boom. They could fix it here. And oh my God, I want one moment. I want a Samoa Joe moment from Tommaso. What I mean by that, you remember when it was Samoa Joe and AJ, and he went over to Wendy's house. Oh, Wendy, let him go over, and then let Tommaso come out and go, hey, look what I got. He's hanging out with his uncle.
For anybody that ever said Vince McMahon is a fucking genius, go watch Samoa Joe in WWE and then find out what fucking Vince McMahon did to the man and learn that Vince McMahon is a fucking idiot. Samoa Joe was gold in WWE.
He was, man.
He was gonna make so much money for Vince. Yeah. And you fire him 3 times in 1 year?
Dude, I'm telling you, that whole storyline between AJ and Joe with Wendy, all of that. I'm like, we got something here. Go.
Joe coming out and telling Jeff Hardy, why don't you act like this is an AA meeting?
And shut up.
Keep quiet while I'm sharing with the group.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not see that you have the next big mic man in your company and you just want to fire him 3 times for fucking petty ass shit?
And meanwhile,
you keep getting sick on me.
And meanwhile, Tony Khan's over there doing so much blow that he doesn't understand him either, but he's just going to keep him wrestling.
He's like, I'm not going to get rid of him because if he goes back over there, he's going to make millions. Fuck that.
Because Triple H is going to use him like fucking amazing.
Yeah. I think
Triple H is going to use him as the king of heels.
I think Triple H is smart enough to realize that Joe has only a few more years before he needs to give it a rest. So he would give him that actual title run that he needed. And then within a couple of years, he would put him as the biggest heel fucking GM for either SmackDown or Raw and make that show worth watching again.
Mm-hmm.
Samoa Joe as any kind of backstage thing, he's still going to choke you out. Look what he did in NXT when he was Rico's bodyguard, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I would love to see that as a main.
He was great on commentary too. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yes.
He was great on commentary. He was
that,
WWE versions of Taz.
That segment with him and Seth Rollins when Seth was like talking to Josh and saying, "I'm gonna whoop your ass for laughing." He was like, "I was laughing even harder. So put hands on me."
And Joe's got that voice too. Like
yes.
he's got that voice that's Joe. I mean, like,
that's why he's such a great choice for that Twisted Metal show.
I just wish he would have used his voice and we wouldn't have to hear Will Arnett.
Yeah. But his mannerisms and everything still, it's just like, damn, that's Joe fucking putting, in my eyes, that's Joe putting, what is his name in the MCU? The Falcon?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pushing the Falcon's face into a lottery machine.
Dude, you know what match I want? I want Miro versus Joe.
I recently started watching ROH, like the new stuff.
Okay.
And we've had Shane Taylor on the show 3 times.
Nice.
One of the coolest dudes. The only problem with him is that he's an Ohio State fan and a Cleveland Browns fan. So
the Cleveland Browns is a problem.
So anyway, he's a friend of the show. He DMs me on Instagram every now and then just to check in. I want him to beat Dalton Castle this week, and I want him to go one-on-one with Joe. I think that would be an entertaining match.
Yeah. Dalton Castle to me is just like
he's weird. I don't
it's
like
not
him.
that he's
I like
weird.
Dalton.
I think his gimmick is like really, really old.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work anymore. Not like he's played it out, but like that
It's been played out.
flamboyant shit. You're not Buddy Rogers. You're not
Yeah.
the original Nature Boy. You're not none of them. You're a guy that's coming out with two half naked dudes that fan you in 2023.
That doesn't work anymore, my
It
guy.
don't work.
Sorry.
Like you need to be a badass. You need either if you're gonna do a flamboyant character, you need to be like pretty deadly or something like that.
Seth Rollins was perfect when he was doing all.
his
I-
flamboyancy is
You know
great.
what? I'm going to bring this name up, and I hate to bring this name up, but the best flamboyant wrestler I've seen modern-wise was Velveteen Dream.
He was a little too flamboyant. Like
Yeah, he's a little bit.
kind of
he
coming
was-
up the street.
But he was a good wrestler. He
He's
could
also
back
a
it up
good
in the
cokehead,
ring.
too.
He was what?
He's a good cokehead too.
He,
I don't know why Tony hasn't signed him.
Because he likes to play with kids.
Yeah, but I mean, he can get a better connect.
Mm.
Because if you're trying to see EC3's little ding ding, you're doing some good coke.
Oh, dear God.
So what you're saying, they're going to go skiing together someday.
Oh yeah.
Up in the Colorado mountains. Lovely.
I mean, with Tony's big ass nose, it's pretty much Mount Everest.
I'm so pleased to tell you about another announcement we have.
The Velveteen Dream is now my new connect. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Tony, the show's on Wednesday.
Oh, sorry.
We tape on Tuesdays.
The show's live. Oh.
Oh.
No. The other day we had Martin Stone, a.k.a. Danny Burch, on. And I asked him what show he watches, like what his deal is. And he goes, without a shadow of a doubt, Collision.
Collision is a very good show.
He says it's 2 hours of polished wrestling, and it is amazing.
Yes. It's one of the most watchable shows right now. Like, WWE, you're watching it to see when they're finally going to get rid of Roman as a title holder, and there's a couple other storylines that are making a lot of headway. But for AEW, there's nothing really watchable besides Collision.
Yeah.
Like, I almost called it Impact. Rampage shouldn't even be on television anymore. They need to take that off and just have a Dynamite and Collision.
Yeah.
Because I get Dynamite's your flagship show and everything, but that's still not watchable. It hasn't been watchable in like 6 months.
I thought they were getting rid of Rampage and that kind of stuff, but
Just got rid of all the dark.
all the stuff that was on YouTube and stuff. Yeah.
They got rid of the YouTube stuff. And then it goes back to, like, why is Tony Khan holding Ring of Honor? And then you keep putting on more AEW shows. So
Yeah.
why don't you have Ring of Honor as your NXT? Why isn't that your developmental?
So, let's see. We'll get a couple more names. We'll throw the big one out there. Oh, MJF. I don't know if both of you guys answered or not. He said the modern day Ric Flair.
He's the goat, the mic goat.
Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns.
Pussy!
He's fucking Rocky Maivia.
Can't win without help.
He's the modern day Rocky. Rocky die.
Yes, die Rocky die.
Tribal queef.
Everybody
I love the
loves to
tribal
hate
queef.
him.
I love it.
Yeah, I welcomed him back to TikTok that way.
Let's go with Vince Russo.
Dumbass.
He's half genius, half retarded.
Fair.
Like, he's had genius moments, but he's had really dumb moments too.
I think he's had more dumb than he has genius.
That's why
On the opposite side of the coin, Jim Cornette.
He's fun.
He's your uncle. He's that uncle that gets drunk at the barbecue and hits on all his nieces and tells them to sit on his lap.
I don't think it's that bad. I think he's just that. I think he's just that uncle that just gets drunk and starts spewing stupid shit.
He's entertaining. I will say this. I went back and I listened to some of the stuff, like some of his interviews that he does. I watch a lot of Dark Side of the Ring. That's like one of my favorite. He is in like crazy fucking smart when it comes to this shit.
Oh yes, he is.
I would pay to listen to that man tell stories.
You don't have to. You can go on YouTube.
Well, I know, but still, like I would listen to that man tell stories all day.
Podcast the other day, it was crazy.
I like the drive-through better than I do the experience.
I don't know which one it was, but I woke up wanting to piss on Vince Russo's grave.
He gave specific instructions to his wife that if she doesn't do it, she's out of the will.
Yep, that's so fucking great.
I love that.
That's why they need to have a match: Jim Cornette versus
Vince Russo.
Vince Russo, buried alive. If Russo gets buried alive, Jim Cornette whips his thing out on live TV and pisses on his grave.
Well, there is a segment. There's about a 10-minute segment. All you have to do. I watched it yesterday. I think it's Jim Cornette shoots on Vince Russo. It's a 10-minute clip, and he goes about saying, I want to meet you face to face. No guns, no knives, just you and me, and I'm going to bring a briefcase with $5,000 or $50,000, and if you want it, you can take it from me. And he goes on to say, of course, I didn't say knives, and I said no knives and no guns, but I will be wielding a baseball bat. Or I'll find a stick, and I'll beat you to death with the stick. It was.
He didn't say nothing about a sword.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, Jim Cornette's all that beef between them two stemmed from like just Vince Russo not willing to work with Jim Cornette at all.
The brawl for all and shit like that.
That too. Like Jim Cornette was like, man, you should do it this way, and like Vince Russo looked at him like, you're a fucking hillbilly. I ain't listening to you.
You hurt a lot of people's career, and you hurt the people that didn't need to be hurt.
Well,
wasn't it?
Vince Russo hurt a lot of people. Vince Russo was one of the reasons why Owen Hart's not here today.
Wasn't it? It was the whole Montreal Screwjob incident that started the whole thing, because Vince said that Jim had nothing to do with it, and Jim said, I am the one that brought that up, and told Vince that would be a good finish. I
will say this, when Jim Cornette says, like, no, I said it, like, this is what I did, when he tells you he did something, I'm more than likely to believe him over Vince Russo any day of the week.
Exactly.
Any day of the week.
But to every story, there's three sides. Your side, their side, and the truth. So until the truth, like, they all come together and be like, yeah, this is what actually happened, I blame it all on Vince McMahon because he should have took the title off of Brett months ago.
Yeah.
Like, you knew you were going to get rid of him. Fucking take your belt off of him. Immediately.
Or the
love
the idea of just letting him drop it on Monday. Letting him come out Monday. I vacate
Yeah,
it. Have a good day.
In Vince's defense, though, the last time he let somebody's contract run out and they were holding a title, they went on to fucking Nitro and threw it into a garbage can.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the Alondra Blaze. Yeah,
I don't think Brett would have done that though.
I think
Brett was pissed. He didn't want to leave. He had a fucking 10-year contract, guaranteed money from Vince McMahon. So he didn't want to leave. Vince was like, man, he probably will do that, but worse.
probably spray paint at WCW and like,
Or defend it
yeah.
and then lose it to Hogan or some shit.
Oh God,
Oh, that would have been
a nightmare scenario.
But Vince also deserved that shit that Alundra Blaze did because he did the same thing with Flair. He let Flair come on with big gold and call himself the real world champion.
So we got the next one is let's see, Grayson Waller.
I need to see more of him. I haven't really.
Ah.
I always say he's the next. He's a young Randy Orton.
It's a cut rate Miz.
He's either, I would say, either Miz or like he could be a Dolph Ziggler.
No, Dolph Ziggler is Ryan Nemeth over in AEW.
I'm just saying, like as a performer, because he sells pretty good. He does what he needs to do in the ring.
Right.
But he's very good on the mic too. If they turn him into a shit heel, as I call him, he could be like a Piper, like with the pit and everything.
I got two more men, two more women, and then we'll wrap it up. Alexa Bliss.
Giggity.
She looks good for being pregnant.
And she's my height, so immediately giggity.
And then Rhea Ripley.
Modern day China.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mommy.
She's what China should have been.
Oh, absolutely.
Had Triple H not done China dirty.
Okay.
I don't think it was just Trips. I think it was Vince as well.
Awesome.
And then we'll go with Cody Rhodes.
Whoa.
Modern day Bret Hart in WWE.
And we'll end the show on possibly one of the most over people in wrestling, L.A. Knight.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. L.A. Knight. Yeah.
His spot, I'm telling you, his spot where he came out with the map.
Oh, God.
That was genius.
If you didn't like him after that, what is wrong with you?
I seen a video on TikTok of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock coming out and doing
the Dragon Ball Fusion. And then it's LA Knight.
LA Knight.
Yeah.
It was great.
I watched that last night as I was going to bed. That was hilarious.
That is a great analysis on him. He's like the perfect mixture of The Rock and Stone Cold. And for Kevin Nash to try to sit there and bury him for that, it's ridiculous.
It's his confidence, it's a swagger, and that's what we need. And that's how he talks, by the way. Like, that's his voice. Like, he's not doing a voice during that. Like, that's him talking.
It's not like Carl Anderson or AJ Styles trying to, do the Stone Cold. That's just how he is. He's been that way. He was that way in TNA. He was great. Eli Drake was one of the only reasons I was watching TNA at that period.
Dummy, yeah.
That and then
Here's a map.
The Broken Universe was on there, so I was like, oh. And then when they crossed paths, I was like, fuck yeah.
Here's a map to take you to the location of where you can take all those prime bottles
and shove them
straight up your ass.
So with that, we'll put a wrap on this episode of Beyond the Mat. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for an hour. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun. We'll book you guys for season 2, where we will be bringing you guys on to talk about. Well, we might have to do separate shows, one for Josh and one for Cody, and we'll go ahead and talk about your favorite. We'll spend an hour just talking about your favorite wrestler. And we'll go through their career in whatever high spots you guys want to talk about. So, again, thank you guys for coming on. Thanks for everyone who has watched, did watch, or will watch. Stay tuned. August 4th is my episode, hosted by Haley, everyone's favorite Brit, because she went over like Rover for whatever reason. And thank you guys again. And I'm sure you guys will. And hey, I think you got something to tell everyone?
Yes, 2 things. 1, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the Panda Wrestling Company. Catch me and Ken Poster.
And we'll also be on YouTube on Free Talk Wrestling as well.
Yes. For Free Talk Wrestling. And also, don't forget that every day you should be ready to
suck it!